Are you really saying that the EU is 10 billion euros overspent for this year? That's an awful lot of money.
Yes, but it's an order of magnitude. The European Commission will be able to precise a figure. But the problem is that we lack cash. As you know, in every public budget, we make a distinction between commitment appropriations and payment appropriations. When we launch a scheme or public works, we need money to commit ourselves to those who deliver the services. So it's commitment appropriations.
Yes.
And then when the services are delivered, we pay, and we need payment appropriations. We have had enough commitments, but now when money is committed and the service delivered, we have to pay, and we lack cash.
Right. Well, people will say you haven't budgeted properly, you've spent that money perhaps frivolously, and now you're expecting nation-states who, a lot of them are struggling, some of them in recession, to stump up the extra cash.
Yes, but the responsible for that are neither the European Commission nor the European Parliament. It's the budget ministers. Because every year, when we negotiate the amount and structure of the EU budget, the budget ministers on one side and Parliament on one side, we discuss on commitments. And when you commit money, it's not an election promise. It's a legal obligation. On commitments, ministers don't care. They don't even discuss it. They are interested only on payments. And so they are generous on commitments, but they are very avaricious on payments. And now we are in this contradiction. If we have to pay, it's not due to the extravagance of the bureaucrats.
Right.
It's due to this contradiction, the contradiction of budget ministers between what they commit and what they don't want to pay.
I mean, there's an argument.
Now
there's an argument, though, that
yes?
says, are you making a fuss about this now, highlighting this contradiction, as you set out, in order to increase pressure on the nation-states, so to put up the EU budget beyond 2013?
My argument, my fight, my point, is to demonstrate, to oblige governments to avoid double talk, to be candid, and to say what they want really. Last June, there was a European Council. As you know, all the decisions of the European Council, the European Summit, are taken unanimously. And they decided unanimously that 120 billion euros more would be dedicated to sustain growth and competitiveness in the European Union. And it was agreed by everybody, including the British Prime Minister. And a few weeks later, when we start fulfilling this decision, we realize that all finance ministers want to cut the payments instead of increasing them.
Okay.
Now, things have to be clear. We, as you mentioned, we are now preparing the great negotiation on the framework of the EU budget for the next 7 years. But things have to be clear. Who wants to increase the EU budget? Who wants to freeze or cut the EU budget?
All right.
But when you decide to raise it, you have to pay. When you commit, you have to deliver.
Right, you made it very clear. I shall be putting that to members of the European Parliament. Alain Lamassoure, thank you very much.